Hello, everyone. Have you ever felt stuck trying to improve your English speaking, even after extensive study? You're not alone. Many learners experience this. But the good news is that significant improvement is possible, and it doesn't have to take years. With the right techniques, you can start speaking better immediately. What distinguishes fluent speakers from beginners isn't an exhaustive vocabulary or a lack of mistakes. Rather, it's their confidence. Fluent speakers communicate effectively, even when unsure of every word or grammar rule. They don't falter when they forget a word, but continue speaking, which contributes to their fluency. Imagine effortlessly conversing, without dwelling on grammar or hesitating. That's the goal. Small adjustments to your practice routine can yield remarkable results. You don't need to completely overhaul your study habits or learn thousands of new words. Instead, a few simple techniques can help you speak with confidence. The initial step is to build a foundation of fluency, beginning with confidence, which isn't innate, but developed. Anyone can enhance their speaking ability, regardless of their current level. If you've struggled with or been hesitant to speak English, this guide is for you. We'll break down the process into easily implementable techniques, empowering you to speak more confidently than ever. Confidence is crucial because it liberates you from the fear of making mistakes, allowing you to speak freely and learn from errors. Each speaking practice session not only builds language skills, but also reinforces confidence. As Winston Churchill wisely stated, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." This holds true for English speaking. The more you speak, the more confident and fluent you become. If you're wondering how to cultivate confidence, remember, it stems from consistent effort. The more you speak, the better you'll become, and the more self-assured you'll feel. To begin, challenge yourself to speak English daily, even if only for 5 minutes, with a friend, family member, or by yourself. The key is to start, even if initially uncomfortable. Subsequent sections will detail how to build confidence and improve speaking through listening techniques, shadowing, repetition, and engaging practice methods. Focus on progress, not perfection. There's a particular technique, often overlooked by learners, that holds the secret to accelerated fluency. Beyond building confidence, active listening is a fundamental technique for improving your speaking. While speaking fluently might seem to be primarily about talking, effective listening is its prerequisite. When you listen, you're not just hearing words. You're internalizing sentence flow, how native speakers connect ideas, and correct pronunciation. Mastering listening makes speaking more intuitive and natural, like gathering the right tools before building something. This isn't about passive listening. It's about active listening. where you intently focus on, analyze, and absorb what you hear. For instance, when listening to a podcast, story, or conversation, pay attention to sentence structure, word pronunciation, and how ideas are conveyed. Noticing these details is key to active listening and learning. One of the most effective ways to practice active listening is through shadowing, a technique where you immediately repeat what a speaker says, mimicking their words as closely as possible. This powerfully enhances both listening and speaking simultaneously. To practice, choose a short, manageable podcast or story. First, listen carefully to a short sentence or phrase, focusing on rhythm, tone, and pronunciation. Then, pause the audio and repeat what was said, trying to match the speaker's speed and intonation. Continue this process for a few minutes daily, and you'll notice improvements in your pronunciation and fluency. Shadowing encourages speaking without overthinking or internal translation, naturally building fluency. Don't strive for perfection. Mistakes are normal. The goal is to become comfortable speaking without hesitation. The more you shadow, the more fluent you'll become. Sarah, a student who was once shy about speaking due to fear of mistakes, transformed her speaking after incorporating shadowing. She gained confidence and began speaking without fear. As Stephen Covey noted, most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. Active listening teaches true understanding, which simplifies speaking. Active listening and shadowing are just the beginning. The next technique, repetition, will further enhance your fluency. Having explored active listening and shadowing, let's now delve into the incredibly effective, yet seemingly simple, repetition technique. Why is repetition so vital? Because it's how your brain learns to speak fluently and without hesitation. By repeatedly vocalizing words and phrases, you train your brain to recall them quickly, making them feel natural, until you can utter them without conscious thought. It's akin to learning to ride a bike or memorize a song. Through consistent repetition, it becomes second nature. Fluency isn't merely about knowing many words, but about readily and effortlessly using the words you know. Repetition helps you reach the point where you speak spontaneously, without pausing to deliberate over grammar or vocabulary. Consider Paul, a student who knew many English words but often hesitated. By applying the repetition technique, Paul would daily repeat 5 common English phrases 5 times each. Despite initial boredom, within a week, he could utter those phrases easily and without hesitation. To integrate repetition into your speaking practice, first, repeat common phrases. Select frequently used phrases like, "How are you?" or "What's your name?" and vocalize them repeatedly. This trains your brain to say them quickly, making them feel natural whether you're walking, cooking, or practicing in front of a mirror. Second, use the mirror technique. Stand before a mirror and repeat the same sentence 5 times, observing your mouth movements and pronunciation. This not only improves fluency, but also builds confidence by simulating a practice partner. Third, combine shadowing with repetition. After shadowing a few sentences from a podcast or story, repeat those sentences again independently. This powerfully transforms what you hear into what you can easily say, embodying Aristotle's wisdom. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Repetition transforms English speaking into a habit, leading to fluency. Fourth, record yourself. Choose a short passage from a podcast or story. Read it aloud. Record yourself, and then listen and repeat. This helps with fluency and allows you to track your progress. Fifth, focus on small steps for big progress. Begin with simple sentences like, I'm going to the store, or I like reading books, and practice them daily. Consistent, small-scale practice yields significant fluency improvements. Remember, repetition doesn't have to be monotonous. Vary contexts for the same phrase. Practice it in the morning, pretending to order food, and again in the evening, as if talking to a friend. Repetition also builds confidence. The more you repeat, the more comfortable you become, leading to less hesitation and more natural flow. This is just one piece of the puzzle. The next chapter will reveal how to make practice enjoyable. English speaking practice doesn't have to be a chore. In fact, the more enjoyable it is, the faster you'll improve. When learning is fun, you're naturally more inclined to engage with it. This chapter focuses on transforming your English practice into something you genuinely look forward to daily. Imagine enjoying speaking English, not merely studying grammar or memorizing words. So, how do you make practice fun? Let's explore some techniques. First, role-playing allows you to step into real conversations. By acting out various situations, like ordering coffee, having a job interview, or meeting new friends, you practice real-life conversations in a low-pressure, enjoyable way. Choose a common scenario, write down a few relevant sentences, and then act it out, alone or with a friend, as if you're truly there. Role-playing helps you become comfortable with everyday phrases and feels more like acting than studying, making it highly engaging. Anna, a student who found solo practice boring, discovered newfound excitement and improved speaking skills through role-playing. Second, talk about what you love. Discuss your passions, a hobby, sport, movie, or book. When you talk about topics that genuinely interest you, words flow more easily, and your motivation to speak increases. For example, if you love cooking, describe your favorite recipes in English, or pretend to teach someone how to cook. The key is to select an exciting topic to keep you engaged. As Albert Einstein said, creativity is intelligence having fun. Practicing with topics you love engages your creativity, making the process more enjoyable and effective. Third, play speaking games. Language learning can indeed be a game. Many speaking games, playable alone or with a partner, challenge you to think and speak in English in a light-hearted way. Fourth, practice with podcasts and stories. Listening to them improves listening skills and provides excellent material for discussion. After listening, summarize the story in your own words or discuss it with a friend. My YouTube channel offers many suitable stories and podcasts for learners. Choose an interesting topic, listen, and then practice speaking about it. Tom, a student who struggled with motivation, found his speaking improved naturally once he started listening to podcasts about his interests and then explaining them. Fifth, change your environment. Sometimes, a new setting can make practice more exciting. Instead of a desk, try practicing in different places. Describe what you see in English during a walk, or pretend to converse with a barista at a cafe. The aim is to integrate your practice into the real world, keeping things fresh and interesting, and helping you become comfortable speaking English in everyday situations. Sixth, celebrate your progress. Acknowledge every win, no matter how small. Did you speak for 5 minutes without stopping? Did you successfully role-play a conversation? Celebrating these achievements is a powerful motivator. As B.F. Skinner observed, a person who feels appreciated will always do more than what is expected. Appreciating your own progress will fuel further improvement. You've learned how to make English practice fun with role-playing, speaking games, and podcasts. However, what happens when you hit a speaking block? When words just don't come easily and you're afraid of making mistakes? These blocks are normal, and every learner encounters them. The key lies in understanding how to overcome them. First and foremost, acknowledge that making mistakes is an integral part of the learning process. A primary reason for speaking blocks is the fear of saying something wrong. But remember, even native speakers make mistakes. What truly matters is continuous speaking. The more you speak, the more confident you'll become, and the easier it will be to push through these blocks. If you forget a word or make an error mid-conversation, don't freeze. Keep talking. Focus on communicating your message. If you can't recall a specific word, describe it using other words. The important thing is to maintain the flow of conversation. Daniel, a student who froze due to fear of mistakes, learned that mistakes are opportunities for learning. By practicing simple conversations and speaking even when unsure, he saw his confidence grow and mistakes bother him less. Henry Ford's quote, "Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently," perfectly encapsulates this. Each mistake is a lesson for future improvement. Second, use self-talk to break through. When a speaking partner isn't available, self-talk is an excellent tool. Simply talk to yourself aloud in English, as if having a conversation, while performing daily tasks like cooking or walking. Describe your day. Ask and answer questions in English, such as, "What do I want to eat for dinner?" or practice imaginary situations. Sophie, a student who felt blocked without a speaking partner, found her confidence and natural English speaking improved significantly through daily self-talk during her morning routine. Third, leverage shadowing to push through. As discussed previously, shadowing remains a powerful technique when feeling stuck. By listening to a podcast or story and immediately repeating what the speaker says, you practice real conversation patterns without the pressure of forming your own sentences. Begin with short, simple sentences and gradually progress to longer conversations. Shadowing builds fluency by combining listening and speaking practice, and it helps overcome blocks by providing you with the necessary words and phrases. My YouTube channel offers many beginner-friendly stories and podcasts ideal for this practice. Fourth, role-play challenging situations. To further break through speaking blocks, practice difficult conversations through role-playing. Identify scenarios that make you nervous, giving directions, a job interview, discussing complex topics, and practice them until they become easier. If public speaking in English is daunting, rehearse your presentation aloud. If a conversation with a native speaker causes anxiety, role-play that scenario mentally. The more you practice these challenging situations, the more confident you'll feel in real life. Fifth, stay positive and persistent. Overcoming speaking blocks demands a positive mindset. It's easy to get frustrated when things aren't perfect, but remember that progress outweighs perfection. Every time you speak, you're improving, even if it doesn't feel like it. Celebrate small victories, like successfully completing a conversation or learning a new phrase. Walt Disney's wisdom, the difference between winning and losing is most often not quitting, applies here. Persistent practice, even when challenging, will help you break through blocks and become a more fluent, confident speaker. Sixth, practice in real-life situations. A final effective way to break through speaking blocks is to use English in real-world settings. Visit cafes, markets, or engage in online language exchanges. The more you practice in real environments, the easier it becomes to overcome fear and hesitation. Talking to native speakers is ideal, and if you don't know any, numerous online platforms connect you with others eager to practice English. Remember, they are also learning, so there's no need to feel embarrassed about mistakes. Breaking through speaking blocks isn't about eliminating errors, but about continuing despite difficulties. With techniques like self-talk, shadowing, role-playing, and a positive outlook, you can conquer hesitation and speak more confidently. Finding speaking partners can further enhance your fluency, whether online or in person. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this discussion has brought excitement to your English learning journey. If you found it helpful, please consider giving it a thumbs up, sharing it with friends, and subscribing for more engaging and educational content. Your support and feedback inspire me to create even better resources for you. Stay tuned for more exciting content designed to make learning English easy and enjoyable. Keep practicing and have a wonderful day.